Government through the Ministry of Education to assist family who lost their house to a fire on Tuesday. We'll have the details to this story and more in the national report. Welcome back. With the details to the news for Wednesday, January 13th, 2021, I am Sherry Noel. A family of 4 is trying to pick up the pieces after their home in Bushiju Gardens was destroyed by fire on Tuesday night. When GIS visited the family on Wednesday, members of the RGPF's fire department were conducting investigations. Despite having received a call of the devastating news while on their way home, homeowner Martin Alexander managed to maintain a positive outlook.
We got a second call from another neighbor telling us that the house is on fire, and by the time we came, they already called the fire brigade. Nothing could have been done to save the house or anything like that. So, the fire truck came, they did the best they could, but the house was already engulfed in flames.
Alexander, who is a teacher at the Grenada Boys Secondary School and father of 2 school-aged children, says friends and family are providing accommodation and support at this time. However, his main focus is ensuring his children are organized for school.
Right now, the focus now is on getting my kids' stuff, their school books, their uniform and so forth back. Afterwards, we'll look at concentrating on what's going on with the house. We are insured, of course. Our insurer was here last night. She assured us that they would come and evaluate and so forth. Everything inside here can be replaced. We're looking at rebounding and probably building back and building better. My son is 10 years, my daughter is 15. My son attends St. Mary's Junior School. He is in grade 5. My daughter attends high school. She's in Form 4.
Thank you. If someone would like to reach out to you to lend support, a number or so?
Anybody wanting to assist can call me at 534-9640, or you can call me on my job, which is GBSS.
Education Minister Honorable Emmeline Pear also reached out to the Alexander family on Wednesday and pledged government support through the Ministry of Education. She told the GIS via a telephone interview that she understands the situation that the Alexander family has been thrown into, but at the same time she's very thankful that no lives were lost.
I spoke to Mr. Alexander this morning, and I had to commend him on how positive he was, about the entire situation, meaning that it has not allowed him to go into the negative mode. And, and I really, really want to commend him that he's looking at the situation from a positive point of view. And that is how to build back better and to be of great support to his family. That being said, I did offer to him that the ministry would provide whatever support that is needed at this time to help him through this situation. And we would continue to be in communication with him and his family. And again, my heart goes out to him, and in any way, both personally and professionally, that I can help, I stand ready to do that.
Martin also expressed gratitude to all those who have reached out to his family in their time of difficulty. Moving ahead, Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele says public consultations will be held before a final decision is made on which COVID-19 vaccine Grenada will purchase. The COVID-19 vaccine has been a topic of interest and discussion of late, as concerns are being raised on whether or not the vaccine is healthy or safe. Minister Steele told members of the media on Tuesday that no decision has been made on the vaccine for Grenada or the region. He says more knowledge has to be shared with the public to allay fears and suspicion currently being spread on social media.
I know that there are many people who have a certain level of anxiety with respect to this particular vaccine, which would have been many other people. Most of them would not have had or don't have that level of anxiety or so for all of the other vaccines, polio vaccine, rubella vaccine, mumps vaccine, all of the others that are implemented as part of our national policy here in Grenada. Even individuals who annually would take the flu vaccine or who would take hepatitis vaccine, etc. So We recognize that, and we know that this discussion has to be had, and we have started having that discussion in small circles, but a public discussion has to be had.
He says Grenada now has the ability to store the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, which is among 3 vaccines so far approved by the World Health Organization.
We do have now confirmed ability to store said vaccine here in Grenada, as opposed to last week. We are able to store that vaccine, should that be the vaccine that as a CARICOM or as an individual country or as OECS we decide to go with. We are also in communication with Moderna, which is another vaccine that has received approval in the US, and also with AstraZeneca, which is a vaccine that has received approval in the UK and other European countries with respect to Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. Those are the only 3 at this point in time, because those are the only 3 that have either received approval from WHO or are well on the way in the process of, so that it is safe and prudent for us to have discussions with these manufacturers, so that if and when there is that WHO PAHO approval, we are ready there to pull the order out and have it shipped.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Protect yourself and our community from COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol. Use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Let's do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. To stay up to date, visit the Government of Grenada's webpage or the Ministry of Health's Facebook page. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health's hotline by calling 53-VIRUS. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Welcome back. The new laboratory, which is part of the second phase of the General Hospital, will be open to the public from the middle of February. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Hospital Services, Hannah Julian St. Paul, said staff and records from all the old lab will be transferred to the new facility. Prior to touring the facility on Wednesday, she told GIS the intention is to equip the lab for certification in accordance with the international health standards.
The second floor is catered for our new lab, and we are in the process of transiting from the old lab over into the new space, and we are looking at the middle of February for us to be moving over fully and for persons to be able to be accessing service at that new facility. At that new facility, you would, on your tour, you would see that we have all brand new equipment there. They are upgraded, top of the line, because right now we are going to be starting to look at certification for our lab, so that the equipment is in keeping with that.
Medical Director Dr. Taisha Donnell is happy that healthcare in 2021 is off to a positive start. She is optimistic that the equipment will enhance the delivery of healthcare and services to Grenadians. Dr. Donnell highlighted some of the equipment that will be used at the new facility, which includes nebulizers, portable X-ray units, new CT scanner, and carts.
The first thing we got was some new ICU beds. So we got some new ICU beds, like a total of 6 beds. We have procured new operating theater lights, because we've had, since the new building has been commissioned, it's been the same lights we've been using since. And now we're really happy that we've procured some new operating theater lights, which are already purchased. It's just awaiting arrival, and we're really happy about that. We did a lot of work with the ophthalmology unit. So this year, well, we're in 2021, so last year, the ophthalmology unit They improved significantly in that they benefited quite a bit from some of the new equipment that was procured, including what we call A scans and B scans. They got new slit lamps, they got keratometers. So their department has upgraded, which means that they can now offer more services to their population. So with all the new equipment, it helps to improve services that we offer.
PS St. Paul gave the assurance that the equipment will be serviced regularly.
All of our equipment has come with a service contract. We have realized over the years that that was one of our weaknesses, that we was purchasing equipment and we had no routine servicing of them. So we have learned, and all of our equipment that we are purchasing going forward that needs to be serviced have a service contract, as well as we have our own biomedical team on compound that service our equipment from time to time, and if they can't, whatever they cannot do within their capacity or capability, we source expert help.
And finally, in the news, the Happy Hill Brizan Preprimary School and the Paradise Preprimary School, constructed under the 9th Basic Need Trust Fund, is set to be handed over to the Ministry of Education in the coming week. The Paradise Preprimary School was constructed at a cost of 1.7 million EC dollars, and the Happy Hill Brizan Preprimary School was constructed at a cost of 1.8 million EC dollars. GIS visited both locations on Wednesday and met workmen on the job sites cleaning and adding finishing touches to the structures. Via the telephone, Education Minister Honorable Emmeline Pear told the GIS that she is very pleased that the structures will be handed over soon and looks forward in particular to the merging of the Happy Hill and Brizan pre-primary schools at a more conducive learning environment.
I highly commend all the persons involved for the level of maturity, for looking at the bigger picture and the kind of cooperation that they gave to the Ministry of Education that we have gotten thus far. We believe that in a new environment, new facilities, new resources, that students and teachers will be far better off, and we will continue to provide all the necessary support to this new school as we attempt to give every child an opportunity to succeed. And again, I have to say this, I am so impressed thus far with the level of cooperation support that we have received from all of those involved in this process.
With the merger of the two institutions, the Education Minister says the right procedures will be followed if there is need to have a principal, since at present the institutions are led by what is known as a teacher in charge based on student numbers.
The situation would be determined by the guidelines for installation of a principal, and once the school meets the condition for that, we are going to follow the necessary guidelines. But in the meantime, we have been working with those involved, and as I said before, I am just amazed and impressed with the level of understanding, the level of cooperation, the willingness to put the children first, as opposed to all of those other things, titles and positions and who is in charge and who is not in charge. But we will continue to look at the situation and do the best we can in that regards as to whether we have a principal or teacher in charge.
The Paradise Pre-Primary School, she says, is a project that has been on the books for many years. However, finances has always been an issue. To see the project come to completion is really a humbling feeling for all involved.
Moving to this new location, I believe will principal and head teacher and students and family members, everybody involved, would breathe a sigh of relief, particularly when we have bad weather. For those who do not know where that school is currently located, we can say on the river's bank in Paradise. And so this is very important for us in the Ministry of Education, a safer location where students can be accommodated and all involved can continue, with a peace of mind to continue to provide for the children of this community and other communities who would access this facility.
Contracts for both projects were awarded to Hanover Construction Company Limited, who are specialized in civil engineering, both infrastructural and building works. And with that story, we come to the end of the National Report for Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Sharian Noel, thanking you for viewing.